Timmy, please confirm that you can see that we're streaming live on YouTube.
Yeah, I just saw a notification now. Don't wait for us to mount that one like this. I'm coming. Yeah, let me come. Yeah, I just saw the notification.
Okay.
Yeah, it's live. It's live. But we need someone that will supposed to be in charge of that YouTube. Let me quickly tell Chidima or something.
All right, 10 minutes.
So if you come out and nobody is joining on YouTube,
All right,
you can just stop.
Timmy, pause.
Ma?
Send me a message. Hello, Chiwendu. Good day. How you doing? Hello, Chiwendu. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah. Good evening. Hi.
Good
Hi.
evening. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good. And you?
Yeah, we're super excited to have you. And we know that today's session is going to be exciting and it's going to be insightful as well.
All right. All right. Glad to be here too.
All right. Let's just sit tight as we expect more participants to join in before we kickstart the program itself.
All right. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone. We've had good evening, good morning, and good afternoon for wherever you're joining from. And I want to welcome us to today's webinar, and we're super, super, super excited to have you. I see you, Dewumi, you're welcome. Chiwendo, you're welcome once again. Chisum, you're welcome. Milayo, you're welcome. Timitope, you're welcome. I just like us to just do something very, something. So let's just drop on the chat box, where you're joining from, just put your location so that we know all the zones that we are covering for this meeting, all right? So please confirm that you can see that we're streaming live on YouTube. Yes, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a notification. Yeah, let me go. Yeah, I just saw the notification.
Okay. Okay, so welcome everyone. Okay, tell me, is this all good kids team? Sorry.
Nobody's joining on YouTube.
Right, tell me. Pause.
Huh?
Send me message. Hello, Chiwendu. Good day. How you doing? All right, so let me once again welcome everyone. So we're going to kickstart while we trust that other parents will join in on this call.
Hello,
All right.
can you hear me? Good evening.
All right.
How are you doing? Good, I'm good. And you? Quite excited to have you. And
Okay, someone's
we know that
is it my background or just a minute?
Glad to be here too.
Right. Let's just sit tight as we
Okay. Sincere apologies, that was actually coming from my background. All right. Okay, so I want to welcome everyone, of course, to this webinar. All right, so this is a Good Kids company. We're super, super excited to have you. And the Good Kids Company, I'm just going to do a little brief about the Good Kids Company, all right? The Good Kids Company is a social impact organization that is dedicated and focused to building the right character in children from the early age, with a focus on ages from 2 to 9 years. Now, our mission is to restore and nurture good values and morals in children using technology, education, media, and entertainment. Now, we achieve our goals through educative parent webinars, which is one we're having today, community and school outreaches to indigent communities, value-infused songs, and parent guidebook, storybooks. In fact, we have our storybooks, so do well to follow us and you see our storybooks and we'll share it with you as well, and others. Now, if your goal in 2025 is to raise a morally sound and grounded child or children, then you are in the right place. You're in the right space with the right community and the right people. All right. So we want you to relax and enjoy every moment in the community and also in this session. Right. So ride together with us as we achieve those goals that you have set as a parent to be intentional in 2025. Now, I also want to encourage you to stay connected to our social media handle. We have our WhatsApp channel, which Like Timmy just dropped the WhatsApp channel on the chat box. So if you are not already in that community, I encourage you to join the community where you get insight and other content on how to be an intentional parent and how to raise, children with good morals. All right. So follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. We're also on X. So just follow us as well on all of our social media handles. We encourage you to follow us there. All right. So we're just going to, Timmy, you can also help me just drop all our handles, our social media handles as well, so that the participant can see and also follow our handles over on those platforms. All right. So today we're taking a topic, teaching kids love. It's easier said than done, but it's easy, but at the same time, it's not so easy. All right. So we're going to be learning today. We have someone that will be learning from our wealth of experience, and we're going to get insight from her. We're going to be learning from Mrs. Chisom Egwatu. Now, she's the founder of the Good Kids Company. She's a mother of 3. She's a parent coach and also a character educator. And I'll tell you, in doing all of this, she's also a career woman. Chisom Egwatu, we're super, super excited to have you and delighted to be having you, run this program today, teach and also educate us today. Ma'am, we're super, super excited. So are you here, ma'am?
Thank you so much. I'm here. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Omo. I'm so sorry. My voice is so bad. In fact,
Okay.
no,
We'll take it as it said.
this just started yesterday, actually, and I don't even know what to say. I was like, of all the days this had to happen, it had to happen, yesterday. And we're preparing for our webinar, but it's okay. I believe I'm still audible enough, right? It's not that
Yes,
bad.
you are. You're audible.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit under the weather, but God will strengthen me and help me, for us to go through this. Thank you so much, Omo. And yeah, good evening to everybody here on board. I can see Adewumi, I can see Chimendo, Enoch, Jidaida. I can see Fumilayo, Oluwakemi, Temitope. I believe other people are going to join us soon. Okay, so Omo, do I take the stage or you still have some things you're trying to say?
No, you can go ahead. The stage is yours now.
Fantastic.
I would like our audience to just give a digital, round of applause. We can't do clap your hands, all right? So I'd like our audience to just give a digital round of applause to our speaker today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So today we're going to be handling a very sensitive topic, which is love. And like almost said already, how to teach love to our kids. This topic is so important because I believe that it shapes literally everything or who a child eventually becomes, from an emotional standpoint, from an academic standpoint, from the relational standpoint and otherwise. Who a child eventually becomes in the future is going to be shaped by this topic we're going to be discussing today. Pardon me, please. Like I said, my voice is I'm under the weather, so I have so please pardon me. And if I say something that is not quite clear, please let me know so I can recap. Okay. So yeah, love is so important when it comes to how it shapes a child's life and a child's future, that we had to talk about it, right? And the truth is, a lot of us parents, a lot of us trivialize it because we feel like love is just something that children need to know about when they're a bit more grown. But it's not true. It's not true, right? It's not true. And that's because a lot of us look at love from a romantic standpoint. That's not just what love is all about. Romance is just a part of love. It's not the entire thing, right? So today we're going to be talking about love from what love really is, from self-love to family love to friendship love, all kinds of love, compassion, right? we're going to be talking about this in between all of the things that we're going to be talking about today, because excuse me, because love is so broad, and our children deserve to understand what love truly means. And guess what? They won't know that except we tell them, except we teach them. It has to start from us, right? So today, this webinar is supposed to last for like an hour. It's not going to be so long. So I'll try as much as possible to see that we maximize our time. Yeah, we're talking about love. Let me just give like a brief outline of all the things that we're going to touch today. From what is love, like I said, to our role as parents in teaching love, to how love impacts your child's emotional well-being and their confidence. Yeah, the role that love actually plays in building the confidence of a child and the emotional well-being of a child. How to love your kids without over pampering them. How to teach your kids about self-love and why you should teach them about self-love. How to teach them about love for others. Also, how to help your child express love with boundaries, right? With boundaries, so they don't lose themselves in the process. So these are the things that we're going to be speaking to today for this webinar. So I would like us to just pay attention, and by the end of the webinar, I'm gonna give some time for us to ask our questions, and we can feel free to ask our questions as at then. Okay. So first of all, what is love? Like I said, love is so important. But guess what? Love is not just words. Love is actually an action word. Love is an action word. So we need to understand it from this standpoint. And with parenting, parenting actually starts from us. If we do not, because I always tell parents, as a parent, you must start to hold yourself to higher standards. Because guess what? If not, the way you are is how your child is going to turn out. And if you sit down and ask yourself sincere questions, the way you are right now, is that the way you want your child to turn out? Ask yourself sincere questions, right? And you don't need to answer me. The way you are now, the choices you made in life, the decisions you made in life that led you to where you are today, how you are, how you behave, is that how you want your child to turn out? Would you gladly, if you had a choice, replicate yourself in your child? If your answer to this question is no, then you have work to do. We have some work to do. Because guess what? If you do not get to work, your child is going to become the exact replica of yourself or your husband. There's no magic to it. Modeling is the strongest force in the universe. I've never seen a stronger force. I think God, in his ingenuity, I think the greatest thing that God created is a parent. I can't begin to explain it to you, because as a parent myself of 3, I see every day how my actions and inactions shape the life of my children. Like literally, I see it play out in my very own before, and I'm amazed. Guess what? Even the things you do that you do not even know that you're doing, your kids are picking it from you. Your kids are picking it from you. So the question is, how do you want to change the trajectory of your child's life? Do you want them to continue the path they are going, the path you are going, or the way you've lived your life, or you want a change to happen? Right. So back to the center. Love isn't just a feeling; it's an action word. It's an experience. You need to teach your kids that love is an action word. You know why? Because tomorrow in the future, someone is gonna come and tell them, "I love you." Where is the action? How do they know that the person truly loves them? Right? If they don't act on it. Action is respect, right? Action is, appreciation. There are different ways to express love, but it's not just in the words. Boundaries, respect, right? How you act. Exactly. Yeah, modern. How you act, your words to the person. These are action words. So love is an action word. You must know that as a parent. So that when you're teaching your child, you will tell your child that love is an action word, right? It's not just something that somebody just says, a feeling or just something in the head. No, it's beyond that. Right? Now, for different children, they understand love in different ways. I believe that we all here, we have younger children because most of our webinars are for younger children, for parents that have younger children. So speak to toddlers. Let's even start from babies, right? How do you express love to babies? Babies don't know anything, but they understand what love is. The love of a mother is priceless. The way the mother cuddles the baby, the way the mother holds, feeds, attention, pays attention to the baby, provides for the baby, feeds the child, listens to the child when the child cries, attends to that. That is love, action, right? Now, for a toddler, what is love? A toddler understands love as cuddle, how you cuddle them, how you praise them, how you spend time with them. That's 2 to 4 years. That is how a toddler interprets love. So every child at different ages, they interpret love differently. So if you have a toddler, the question I have for you now is, how do you express love to that child? If you don't spend time with that toddler, you're not showing love to your child. Yes, you might be too busy, but I can tell you, if you're too busy for your child, there will come a time when that child will be too busy for you. It's the hard reality. It's either you pay the price now or you pay it later. You have to pay the price either ways. So are you spending quality time with that child now? If it's a toddler, are you spending quality time? I know you're busy. I know we have to do a lot, but are you spending time? Are you carving out time for that your child to say, I want to spend time with you? If it's okay, a particular day or a particular time of the day, every day, are you spending quality time? Are you playing with that child? So how you spend time, how you cuddle that child, how you hug, how you praise. Well done, boy. Well done, Ryan. My son. My son is not even a toddler anymore. In fact, I don't even have, okay, I have a baby. I don't have a toddler. I have a baby. My baby is just about to be 1 year old. But that's separate, right? So for a preschooler, how does preschoolers understand love? For preschoolers, love is approval and connection, right? That's why you see preschoolers, a lot of them, they do things and they want you as the parent to see it and to be excited about it. Daddy, see, I drew this. Mommy, see, I did this. And you just be like, okay. Really? You're not showing love to that child. You're not showing love to that child. You're not showing love. You need to change. When your preschooler comes to you and is telling you about something they did and you're not paying attention, you need to pay attention. You are not loving that child. That is how they understand love. So if you're not paying attention when they come to you, daddy, mommy, you say, please, go. I know we can be overwhelmed with a lot as parents, right? But regardless, we must know the things that are most important. As a parent, you have to know what is important and what you can relegate or what you can delegate. As a parent, as a mother of 3, as a wife, and as an entrepreneur running like beyond the good kids, we have like 3 other subsidiaries. I realized that my time is so important. So I know I even have a side job as well. I know what I have to dedicate my time to. I know what I have to prioritize. I know what I have to deprioritize. So at home, you won't catch me sweeping the house. Why? Not because it's not important, but because it's not priority. Because I would rather spend that time bonding with my children than spending time sweeping the house. Right? Does not mean that once in a while I don't do that. But it's not my everyday activity. I'd rather hire someone to do it. Right? For those of us who are mothers who probably don't have someone, you need to know what is important to you. You need to know the things that you have to prioritize and the ones you have to deprioritize. And I don't want to deviate because there's a lot we have to talk about love today. But the reason I'm going into this area is because these are some things that make us not do what we ought to do. As mothers, we are so busy. Even as daddies, I don't know if we have any daddy in our midst. Do we have any daddy in our midst? If you're a daddy here, please raise your hand. Let's see you. Okay, we don't have any daddies here. Okay, if you're a mother, raise your hand. I want to be sure we are even listening. If you're a mother, raise your hands. Let's see you. Mothers, raise your hand. Okay, I'm seeing them. Fantastic. Mothers, let's see us. Raise your hands. I'm only seeing Enoch and Jedida and Omo. Yeah, okay. Chiwendu is really taking a lot of notes. Well done, Chiwendu. Okay, great. So we have to know what to prioritize. Because see, you must be there for your children. I'm going to go to why love is so important and how it affects your child's confidence and their emotional well-being. It's so important. If you're not able to show love to your child, it is a big problem. That child will develop low self-esteem. The child will think they are less or they are inferior to other children. My son, some parents in my son's school, my kids' school, they tell me that my son is so confident. Where did he get that confidence from? It's love. It's not any other thing. Confidence doesn't just happen. It comes from love. The way you love your child, right? The way you cuddle, the way you hug, the way you kiss. See, me personally, I didn't experience this with my parents. Who says that the way we learned parenting is the way we're also going to transfer it? You can't do that. Today's society, the world is moving. You must move with the world. Right? My parents, I don't remember them kissing me, hugging me, but I remember my dad always like really showing me love. But I don't remember the kissing, hugging, but I know he will eat and he will remain food for me. He will remain meat for me, as the last born and all of that. That was also his way of showing love, right? But me now, beyond all of that, no night do my children don't go to bed without a good night hug and kiss. As long as I'm around, they don't go to bed. There's what family traditions have you put in place to show love to your kids? What family traditions have you put in place? Do you realize that if you don't show love to your kids, it can affect their studies, their academics? I'm going to get to that. It's as if I'm jumping, but I'm trying to get into everything in between. It's okay, right? But what family traditions have you put in place? Do you have dinner together once in a week, even if not every day? Do you have movie nights? Do you have games nights? What time do you spend together as a family? Right? Even if the daddy is not around, you yourself, the mother, with your kids, do it. Do you peck them? Do you hug them? Do you give them high five when they do well? Do you give them thumbs up? Parenting is not all about discipline. Why there's a place for discipline, but guess what? If you are not able to love your child well, that child will not take in that discipline the way they need to take it in. If you don't love your child well enough, they are not going to take in the discipline the way they ought to take it in. If your child knows that you love them well enough and they experience love from you, and you're disciplining them, guess what? They will take it in. I see it in my children all the time. Because there's a foundation. There's like a foundation that, what do I call it? There's a depth that there's an extent to which you have showed them love, that they know that even if mommy is doing this, it's not because she hates us. It's not because this one, is because she loves us. And then, of course, you have to also teach them that discipline is part of love. But remember, you have to have love on one hand and discipline on the other hand. It can't just be discipline all the time. It can't just be disciplined. You have to have love on one hand. There must be a balance. We must learn to create the balance. Right? So, how do you show your school-age children? How do you show them love? And this is 6 to 10 years old. 2 of my kids are in 6 to 10. Talk about respect. Talk about trust. Talk about support. How do you respect them? How do you trust them? And I'm speaking to like decision making. At that 6 to 10 years old, you need to start giving room for choices. You need to start giving room for choices for your kids, right? Because, for example, now, the one you guys want to go out, it must be that clothes you said they will wear that they will wear. That is not how to show them love. Even, guess what you're doing? You are impeding their self-esteem, because it means that they can't make the right decisions. You're actually shooting yourself in the foot, because if they don't learn how to make decisions now, it's not when they are over 10 that they're going to learn it. It's now. It starts from now. Are you aware that according to Harvard, a research that was done by Harvard, they said that a child's mind develops 90% as at age 5 and 95% as at age 10. What does that tell you? 95% is like the whole thing. So anything you want your child to do, whatever you want your child to become, if by age 10 you've not been practicing it with them, forget it. You're going to be in a rat race. They will never learn that thing. They would never learn it. So if you want them to start making decisions for themselves, you have to give them the room to make the decision. And it starts from clothes that they wear, something as simple as that. You guys want to go out, it mustn't be that your choice. No, give them room. Instead, what you can do is tell them, okay, bring 2 options and then let me choose. That way you've balanced it. Even if you feel the child is not yet there, right? Bring 2 options. Give me 2 options of the clothes you want to wear, and I'll choose one. That way, you've allowed them make decisions, but yet you were able to achieve your goal of, okay, them not wearing nonsense. And then you can change maybe 1 or 2 things from that, right? At times, you can give them option of what to eat. And I'm not saying every day, especially for food, because of course, with children, you can't be making choices about food every day. You can say, okay, should we eat spaghetti this night or should we eat rice? Okay, should we eat swallow or should we eat? Decision making. Those things build their esteem. It builds their love for self, right? Because they believe they're sufficient. When a child believes they're sufficient, they begin to trust in themselves more and they begin to love themselves. Right? So you show them love at 6 to 10 by showing that you trust them. Trust, respect, support. You respect their feelings. You celebrate their efforts. This one is so important. As a parent of an under 10, positive reinforcement is no joke. As in, you must not joke with it. And by positive reinforcement, I mean appreciating your kids and or like making it a big deal when they do something right. Whenever they do something right, oh, take a high five. High five. Oh, take a sticker. A sticker. Oh, I love the way you took good care of your baby brother. Well done. I'm so proud of you. How are you appreciating their efforts? Do you appreciate them? Or they just do something like just do your eye as if you didn't see it. And you expect that child to continue to do that thing. It's not possible. Children thrive on positive reinforcement. So whatever habit you want to keep seeing in your child, you must keep appreciating it. You must keep reinforcing it. And how do you reinforce it? High five. Well done. I'm proud of you. Thumbs up. I'm super proud of you. You make me so proud. And not just you make me so proud. Say exactly what. I'm proud of you because of how you took good care of your baby brother. Listen, I'm telling you, it works like magic. My son usually is not even the one that would be so, into taking care of someone. It's more of my daughter that is very homely and very, this thing. My daughter is like that. She's just 5, but the girl is so homely and so grounded. But my son is not. He's more of the hey, hey, hey. But guess what? I started using positive reinforcement with him when it comes to his baby brother, because his baby brother is just 1 year. He's not yet even 1. He's going to be 1 year by next month, right? I started using positive reinforcement. Brian, I love the way you take good care of your baby brother. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. I will hug him. I will kiss him. Guess what? The guy started doing it every day. He started taking good care of his baby brother. He started improving at it. He started doing better because of what? Positive reinforcement. I was acknowledging his efforts. I was giving him thumbs up, high five. Okay, stay with your baby brother today. Make sure you take good care of him. I'm in the room. I want to study or I want to do this. He will he will stay there. He will take care of him. So positive reinforcement is a must. Is a major tool that we must put in our bags as parents, especially of parents of under 10. We must put it in our bag. We must always pull it out at every point in time. Right? Now, do you know what your child's love language is? What is your child's love language? If I were to ask you, have you taken time to understand what your child really loves when it comes to love? How they respond to love? Is it that they love whenever you hug them? My daughter, she's so huggy. I always hug her. She loves to be hugged. In fact, beyond hugging, she'll come and be touching me. She wants, to lean. She wants to hug. I've identified it and I'm always giving it to her. You need to identify your child's love language. For my son, Ryan, he loves quality time. He loves to spend time with me. Every time I come back, he's always the one to come and knock on my door and open the door, even when I don't ask him to come in. He's always wanting to stay around mommy. He's always wanting to stay everywhere I am. He loves spending quality time. Quality time is his thing. So have you found out what your child's love language is? And these things don't just happen. It takes intentionality. You have to intentionally be seeking it out. What does your child respond more to? Is it when you hug and kiss them? Is it when you spend time with them? Is it when you play with them? Is it what exactly do they respond to more? So that you can continue to give it to them, right? So we must make sure that we find out what our child's love language is, because that is the bedrock of every other love that they can give to others. Now, I think when I was speaking about love, I also spoke about the impact of love on your child. See, when we love our children well, it boosts their confidence. Do you know that it affects them academically? Do you know that according to statistics and research, children who are loved right, they are more willing to try in terms of the academics, so they put in more efforts. You know why? Because they want to make mommy and daddy proud. They put in more efforts because they want to make mommy and daddy proud, because they know somebody is counting on them to succeed. But when a child feels like, why should I even put in more efforts? They don't see the reason to try. They don't see the reason to continue to put in efforts. My daughter's teacher was telling me in school the other day that I went for parents, I forgot what they call it, where you got to talk with the teachers. She was saying Amelia is really trying. And I see her putting in a lot of effort. She really wants to keep trying. And yes, I see it. My daughter, my son is really, really smart. Yeah, open day. Thank you, Kemi. Open day. My son is really, 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 really smart. So he's like the best in his class. My daughter is very smart as well. But yeah, maybe not as smart as my son when it comes to academics. But guess what? She's better in a lot of other areas. For example, I don't want to talk about that, but she's better in a lot of other areas. She's more homely. She's more responsible. She's more different when it comes to character. She embodies characters. The girl is a superpower. But when it comes to academics, that's one area I'm still trying to work on her. She's great though, but because I'm a mother that demands excellence, I don't want her to be as great as her brother, right? I know no two kids can be the same, but it's a journey. She shouldn't just give up, right? So I keep working with her. We keep putting in more efforts, and I keep hyping. I know you can do it, Mama. Keep trying. I even had to add prayers because I know that life is spiritual, right? I had to add prayers. I tell her, anytime you want to study, put your hands in your head and pray. Pray over your brain and tell God to take control. Help you to remember all you learn, right? But guess what? When I went to school, the teacher was so proud of us. Amelia is making so much effort. She's improving. I see her wanting to make effort. And she came back and told me, Mommy, I want to make you proud. Mommy, I want to make you proud. Why? Because somebody believes in her. Someone believes in her. She can say literally, I believe in her. I believe in her. I'm cheering her. I'm rooting for her. I'm always telling her, Mama, I know you can do it. Keep trying. Don't give up. That is the resilience that she's going to take into academics and put in all the efforts to get better at what she can do. But if your child does not see that love from you, what will make them want to put in the efforts? Nothing. You just keep shouting and shouting and shouting. No, shouting alone is not enough. There's something called connection. You must connect to be able to correct that child. There's a place for connection, and connection is built through love, bonding. So your child's academic is at risk. Your child's emotional well-being is at risk if you don't love that child. So what are you doing about it? What are you going to start doing differently? Are you going to create family traditions? And for working mothers, I get that we might be very busy, and fathers as well. I don't know if we have fathers here. But see, it has to take you sitting down to actually plan your activities, right? Randomly, I see my kids. I just kiss them on the forehead. Randomly. Mama, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Today again, I remember telling her, she looked at me like, thank you, mommy. Like, you're so smart. Words of affirmation. Even if you're not around, maybe at bedtime when they're going to bed. When you see them, what do? Do you hug them? Do you kiss them? Do you speak the right words to them? And even if you're not around at bedtime, what time are you around and what family moments you create to bond with that child? Right? So is it a family movie night? How about Saturdays? If you're busy Monday to Friday, how about Saturdays? How about you carve out a day in your Saturday for movie nights or for games nights? And I hope you know that games make children smarter. It helps them learn a lot of things. It helps build character. For example, I play Monopoly with my kids. I can tell you for free that Monopoly has taught them financial literacy lessons that I've not even personally taught them. We had to learn it by playing Monopoly. Jenga has taught my kids patience, especially Ryan, who is not usually very patient. He knows that if he pulls the Monopoly wood without consciously, carefully thinking, he knows he's going to scatter and he will leave the game. So he has to patiently think again before pulling. So you have to think of incorporating games into your children's activity. Play the games with them. If you're not available Monday to Friday, how about Saturday? How about Sunday? How about Sunday dinner together with them? How about Saturday games nights or or movie nights? Right? These are ways. There is always a way. See, you create time for things that are priority for you. Things that are important for you is what you create time for. If it's not important, you will not create time for it. And guess what? If you don't prioritize your children now, tomorrow you will prioritize them, because that tomorrow when you prioritize them, it will be when they're giving you a headache. And I'm sure you don't want to do that. So connect now. The best time for a parent to spend with their kids is the formative years. Before I became a parent and I became a mother, I used to hear formative years. That thing is not a scam. Formative years for a reason. There's a reason it's called formative years. Like I told you before, according to Harvard, and Harvard is very reputable, 95% of a child's brain develops from ages 3 to 10. If you don't have the time to spend with them within this time band, I'm sorry, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them. You're going to lose them. And guess what? You pay the price later. I'm sorry, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not the type of person that tries to sugarcoat or try to sweet talk. I'm going to tell you what it is. You will pay the price later. So it's either you pay the price now and enjoy later, or you pay the price later, or you don't pay the price now and you suffer it later. And that suffering is not nice. It won't be nice for you. So no matter how busy we are, we must create time to spend time with our kids, bond and love on them. Right? Yeah, so I've talked about love, showing love every day, family traditions, showing them affection in their preferred love language, And guess what? Another important thing is how you love your spouse. And all of us are parents here, and most of us, if not all, live with a spouse. How do you love your spouse? You can't exclude it from how you show love to you. You can't separate it. You know why? Children pay attention to what we do than what we say. So I know this is a bit difficult. Yes, thank you, Moduwe. I have a code. It's a bit difficult because you don't have control over how your spouse will react or how your spouse will behave. I understand. But just try as much as possible. If you have a relationship with your spouse that works, I'm happy for you. Build on it. And guess what? Those affectionate moments must not happen inside the room. When your husband gets to kiss you on the cheek or kiss you on the head, it shouldn't be for the room. It should be in front of the kids. Because guess what? You are teaching them more lessons than the words you're going to speak. How to love your spouse. 101. That's what you're teaching them. So if your spouse, you and your partner used to have like maybe hugs and kisses on the forehead and on the cheeks inside the room before, stop doing it. Go and tell your partner that we need to start doing this in front of the kids. Yes, I'm not talking of any other thing. There's a limit to it, right? We know. I'm talking of like the basic ones of hugging. I'll miss you. I love you so much. Those words that your spouse speaks to you, it should be in front of the kids. You're building their love quotient. See, when children come into the world, they come in empty-minded. They are like a blank slate. Children are a blank slate. Do you know what fills up their mind? How we live our lives, what we say to them, what we teach them, what they see on screen, what they read from the books. Those are the things that fills up their mind. So if your child is acting in a certain way, it's as a result of what they've seen. Maybe you do most times because you're the one that is always with them. Or what they've seen if you have a domestic help. What they've seen the person that is a domestic help do. What they've seen their daddy do. What they've read in a book. But guess what has the greatest influence? What they've seen you do. You as their parent. You as their mother. You as their daddy. What did they see you doing? That's what has the greatest influence. So when it comes to modeling love to kids, the way you treat your spouse is a major part of that. So how do you treat your spouse is a major part of that. So, and remember that no marriage is perfect. So there would always be disagreements. There would always be small fights here and there. What I do is I tell my husband, anytime we have to have a disagreement, it shouldn't be in front of the kids. We can go into the room and have a conversation, right? If you have a concern or you're really angry about something, please call me into the room. Let's talk. And he obliged me, and we do that so that we don't set off the wrong example before the kids, right? So it doesn't mean that you're not going to quarrel in your marriage. There's no marriage without quarrels. But you have to manage it in such a way that you don't portray the wrong thing to the kids. Because remember, you're trying to teach them about love, right? Show them what you need them to see. Why there are disagreements, that's okay. They might even know that you guys are not in best of terms. It's okay as well. Yes, I and daddy, or myself and daddy, are having some issues, but we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. That's okay. It happens. Friends even have issues and they fix it, right? And you tell them that's okay. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's it about modeling love with your spouse. I've spoken about modeling in general, how you speak. Okay, I think I've not really spoken about how you speak. I've spoken about more of actions. Yeah, the things you also say to your kids also matter. What do you say to them? Do you say, you're just daft? You're not smart at all. You're not smart at all. Really? Look at how ugly you are. Ikwi. You know why I'm saying this? I know some parents say it, especially our Igbo parents. You use abuse on top of training. Abuse it on top of training, on top of discipline. Well, wait,
But so kind of words that they use, you yourself as a child, you'll be shocked, like, oh my God.
my God. So you mean you're calling your child a baboon? How do you expect the child to feel beautiful? Tell me how. So you already impose low self-esteem on your child by yourself. And then you expect the child to go out with shoulders high. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. Parents, we really have to be careful about the words we speak to our kids. I know at times we get so angry, but see, be careful of the words. See, do you know that with my kids, like this thing I'm telling you, I've mastered it to a good extent that my kids, do you know the only abuse they know? The only abuse they know is you're not serious. Because that's the abuse I use on them. Do you know, when I heard my son saying, you're not serious, he was telling his sister, I was like, eh? One day we went to my sister's house with the kids, and I overheard my their cousins, as my sisters is telling my son Ryan. The only thing you know how to say is you're not serious. You're not serious. When I heard it, I was like, this is good. I like this. I was so proud of myself. Yes. Because I intentionally made sure I was not using the wrong words on them. That I'm angry. You're not serious. Are you a serious person? Are you sure you're serious? If you're serious, you better go and do that thing I said you should. That's it. Yes. Some of our parents that call our children idiots, baboon, this one, ikwi, or different words. Come on now, parents, let's do better. Let's do better. Let's do better. Let's do better. And it's not a laughing matter. Because see, our words shape the way our children see themselves. Do you realize that you're the most powerful force in your child's life? When I mean most powerful, that's why I tell you that modeling is such, in all of God's creation, I still can't fathom how God gave parents so much power. The power is too much. Even us parents, we don't know the power we wield. Do you know that you can make a child? You see, when a child comes into your hands, you give birth to a child. You can say, I want this child to become a president. And you know, if you walk towards it, your actions, your thoughts, what you teach that child, every single thing you do, align it according to that thing that you have in mind for that child. Do you know that is how that child will become? That thing the Bible says about train up your child in the way they should go. They will not depart. It's not scam. Is when I became a parent that I knew that thing was not a scam. Before I used to say, oh, train up a child. When I became a parent, I realized that there is so much power. We sit in so much power as a parent. You don't even realize it. Do you know when another time, one of the times it dawned on me again? Do you know that before now, right? I used to sigh a lot. Sigh. Like I'll talk to you now. If I didn't really like something, I would just say, even if it's not like I didn't really like it, like you're wasting my time. Guess what happened? Do you know that I started noticing that my son was always sighing? I didn't even see. The funny thing is that I didn't even know I used to sigh myself. Do you know there are some things you do, you don't know that you do. You have to take a high level of self-awareness for you to come to understand that I actually do this thing. I didn't know I used to sigh a lot. Honestly speaking. Guess what made me know that I used to sigh a lot? It was my son. He didn't tell me. He started sighing a lot. I was like, Ryan, why are you always sighing? You're always sighing. Why? Be like, Mommy, sorry. The next time you hear him, God gets it. What are you doing now? Give it to me. Give it to me. Where did this boy learn this sign from? I used to ask myself, where did this boy learn this sign from? I always caution him, caution him. One day is one day. I said something, and when I finished saying that, I sighed. I was talking to him. I sighed. And I think it was just the Holy Spirit that prompted me. There's like a self-awareness. Like, did you just hear yourself? You know, it was that day I realized that I used to sigh a lot. And that was where my son picked it from. Something I didn't even know I was doing. He picked it. And even him, guess what? He also didn't know that it was me he picked it from. But he picked it. So you see the power. That day, for like it took me, I now started being conscious. Let me watch myself again. I noticed I was always sighing. I was like, where did I get this habit from? So it's me that actually taught Ryan this thing. And I was busy asking him where did he learn it from. What am I trying to say? Parents, you have so much power. You wield so much power, more than you even think you do. Let us channel that power rightly. Let us use that power to raise our children in the way that they should go. Okay? Now, I think the next thing I'm going to talk about is how to teach love or how to show love to your kids without over pampering them. Now, with showing love to kids and discipline, as parents, we must know, like I said earlier, there's a place for discipline and there's a place for love. You have to know how to wield the balance. We have to know how to create the balance. There must be a balance. And how do we create that balance? By putting boundaries, by setting clear boundaries, clear expectations. And you know, most of these things I've been teaching you is actually in our book, the ebook on love. There's a book, there's an ebook I wrote on love, teaching love to kids, both self-love and love, like loving others and self-love. So for all the morals that we teach, we always have, I create ebooks that helps parents actually now beyond the webinar. You can go home, read those ebooks, and it gives you like a step-by-step guide, practical, actionable steps that you take every single day to help you, perfect in showing love, for example, or any other of those morals that we're teaching. So for the love moral, there's an ebook, and a lot of these things I'm teaching us are in that book, and even way more. For example, we're going to see actionable steps, examples and things we need to do to drive the point home. Right? You get what I'm saying? But this particular thing I'm talking about now, which is how to love your kids and be able to strike a balance, right, between love and discipline. That one is in my Parent Like a Pro book. There's a book I have, it's called Parent Like a Pro. If you want it after the session, you can always drop a chat and then we'll share the link for you. But that aside, what I'm saying is there's an art to it. And one thing is sure, if you want to show love and also discipline, you must make sure you set clear expectations. Clear expectations is the number one thing you must do. So, for example, what are the kids supposed to do on a daily basis? Are they supposed to clean their shoes? Are they supposed to pack their snacks bag? Are they supposed to make their room, arrange their bed, sweep their room? Depends on the age of your child, right? You have to set the clear expectations. Kids thrive on clear expectations. They have to know what it is that they are supposed to do at every point in time. It must be clear to them, right? And remember that, first of all, for you to strike this balance between love and discipline, the love you have for your child must fill up that child so much that even when discipline comes in, the love is too much that the child does not see the discipline in a negative light. And I see this play out with my kids all the time. You must have shown enough love. That's the love in that child's bank account, if I use that word, must have been so much. The deposits of your love must have been so much that that child, when you discipline the child, is not seen as punishment. And of course, there are also other ways to go about discipline. For example, consequences. What I always recommend for parents is consequences. Yes, there are other times where you have to discipline, but do more of consequences. And what is consequence? Give you for an example. My children, part of their daily activities is to pack their snacks bag. One of the days, Ryan did not pack his snacks bag and he went to school without snacks. Guess what? When he was in school, other of his friends, everybody was eating their snacks and he didn't eat his snacks. He came back feeling so sad. Mommy, I didn't take my snacks to school today. Blah, blah, blah. He was crying. He was feeling sad. Guess what I did? I gave him a hug. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, baby. But you know that you were supposed to pack it last night, right? So you didn't pack it last night, and that was why you didn't have snacks in school. So that is the consequence of not doing what you were supposed to do. Was that discipline? That was discipline, but it was not punishment. That was just consequence of his action. It's as if it's like karma. Right? I didn't have to do anything for it to happen. And guess what? After that day, Ryan always, of course, his sister always packs her own. He didn't forget his snacks again. Every night, they must pack their snacks back. Because they know that if you don't pack your snacks back, nobody's going to bring snacks for you in school. Yes. So you have to pack your snacks back. Guess what? Another example. One of the nights, because we live in Lekki. Lights is very expensive. At times, the kids sleep with AC. At times, they sleep with fan. So this night, they were sleeping with fan. And I told him, I always come. So I told him, I said, this fan you turn to your face. He turned the fan to his face. Like this fan you turn to your face. You're going to get a cold when you wake up. You're going to have catarrh. Whenever you want to on the fan, don't put it on your face. turn it, let it be on the half of your body, or on your half of your body. Let it not face directly on your face. Otherwise, you're going to wake up and you won't be able to breathe well. And Ryan didn't listen to me. The next day, he put the fan on his face. I came into their room. Guess what? I saw the fan on his face. I left it. I left the fan. And I went to my room and I slept. Guess who came in the middle of the night to come and see me in the room? Ryan woke up in the middle of the night around 3 a.m. He could not talk. Sorry. Me, I was feeling sleepy. I welcomed him. I said, okay, I lie down here. I covered him. In the morning, he was still, I cannot talk. I cannot. Mommy. I said, but I told you that you shouldn't put fan on your face. He said, Mommy, so you knew this was going to happen? I said, yes. He said, so why didn't you take it out? I said, because I told you and you said you refused to take it out. I wanted you to see the consequences of your action. I was like, okay, now I see the consequences. Guess what? Since after that day, anytime they're using fan to sleep, Ryan does not put fan on his face again. See, consequences drive the message home. You don't need to beat, you don't need to. Of course, am I saying that there are times when you might have to actually beat once in a while, right? There are times you might have to. Depends on what the child did. But most of the time, if it's something that consequence can take its course, let the consequence take its course. That way, the kids learn that there is something called choices and consequences. Choices and consequences. And that will drive the point home for them. Okay? So when it comes to teaching your child about or loving your child without over pampering them, you must learn to pull your tool called consequences. You must learn to always ensure, cause and effect, exactly. Cause and effect is natural. It takes its toll. Natural. So for example, now my children's shoes, they know that if I buy them shoes and you spoil your shoe, right? In that term, sorry for you. You will go to school with that shoe spoiled like that. You know what I'm trying to teach them? Responsibility. I'm trying to teach them responsibility. It doesn't mean I don't have another money to buy another shoe for them, but no, you're spoiling the child. You're spoiling the child. And instead of beat that child for spoiling their shoe, let them suffer the consequence. So Ryan spoiled his shoe the other time. I bought a shoe in one time. He spoiled it in that same time. I said, okay, you can go to school with it. He wore it to school. Guess what? He was walking and the shoe was making noise. And guess what? He wore it to school like that. Yes. There are some decisions we have to make as parents. They are tough decisions, but you have to make it. You know why? If you don't do it, you will raise a spoiled child. You raise a spoiled child. And I'm sure you don't want to do that. You don't want to raise a spoiled child. So don't think that because you have to love your child, you now have to take it to the extreme where you don't clearly define boundaries, where you don't discipline. There is a place for discipline. But like I said, consequence is just perfect. It helps you discipline without necessarily disciplining. Cause and effect. Right? So set clear expectations, like I said. For example, that of shoe, I made it clear. What was the clear expectation? If I buy a shoe, you're going to wear it through at least two terms, right? And for that term, if you can spoil your shoe, the highest I can do is fix it for you. But guess what? With Ryan's own, I bought it that term and he spoiled it like 1 week into school. I refused to fix it. Let him wear it like that to school for some days. It was after 1 week I fixed it for him. Yes, so that he can learn to be more careful with his properties. He's 7, right? He can learn to be more careful. Now he's becoming more responsible with his properties. He doesn't lose his things. Before he used to lose his tie. Now he's more careful. He comes back with his tie, comes back with his shoes, make sure his shoes are intact. He doesn't lose these things. He doesn't spoil things like that. He's always careful because he knows that the consequences will follow. So the fact that we say show love does not mean you should not also discipline. Okay? But how do you discipline? Set clear expectation. Set clear expectation. I can see a mom saying, yeah, my kids leave their water bottles in church, and that week they go to school without water bottle. Fantastic. Period. That is it. That is it. There's no conversation. By the time they go to school and they don't have water to drink in school, they do it for like 1 week. If you buy water bottle for them again, they will learn not to throw away their water bottle. They will learn not to throw away their water bottle, right? And this expectation, I mean, of course, you can't be saying this to a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old. This is mostly like from 4, 5 years old. That child should have, you can start instilling responsibility mindset in that child, right? So from 4, you can start instilling that mindset, and all of that. Yeah. So I believe I've been able to touch on that. Now, speaking to self-love, which is like the last part I'm going to touch, because this is 6:00 already. I wanted to give us room to ask questions. Self-love. How do we teach our kids self-love? See, self-love is so important that we created a storybook. We actually have a storybook that we're working on right now on self-love for kids. We have a Benny and Bella storybooks that we create for children, right? Now, self-love for kids. See, you can't talk about love. You can't talk about your child showing love without the child knowing what self-love is. Self-love is the right place to start from. You must instill self-love in your child. Because if that child does not love themselves enough, they cannot love others. And if they love others, it will be on a faulty foundation. Do you know what I mean by faulty foundation? They will love to the point where they are not loving right. They are overcompensating. We see it today with people on the social media. Today, Annie Nibia is trending. Sorry to call names. Trending all over the place. A woman who went ahead and married a man with how many wives and how many children? What do you think that is? A child who loves themselves, understands self-love, will not agree to be treated less. See, we have adults who are in emotional damaging relationships today because they were not taught self-love on time. This is so important. They didn't know what self-love was. Their parents didn't teach them self-love. So, no, they didn't experience self-love. They didn't know what it means to love themselves and respect themselves. Have self-love for yourself. Enough to respect yourself to make the right choices for yourself. Right? So, if a child does not understand self-love, that child is going to have issues. That's the foundation for every other type of love. And how does it start? It starts from you, the mother, the father. How do you model self-love? How? Do you always put yourself down in front of the kids? Or it doesn't have to be in front of the kids. Are you the type of person that's always saying negative things about yourself? And your kids are there, they're listening. I'm so terrible at this thing. I'm terrible at it. I didn't get this right. I'm not good enough. Or some words that we just use. What are you doing? That's the opposite of self-love. You're showing that you're less. You are not valuing yourself enough. Yes, you can fail. How about you say, I didn't get this right, but I'll try again. I will try again. Right? I didn't get this right, but I'll try again. I know I'll get it this time. I'll put in more efforts. How about that? How about, saying, see, the way we talk about ourselves, the way we act, the way we love ourselves. For example, at times I tell my kids, I need a me time. I've stressed myself so much. I need to have some time, a me time for myself. Can you please give me some space? That is self-love. Yes, that is self-love. They always want to be around me, but I need some time for myself. That is self-love, right? Are you showing that you yourself, do you exhibit that with your kids as well? Do you take some time and say, okay, today I want to take good care of myself. I want to go to the salon. I want to make my hair. I want to fix my nails. I want to do a massage. I've stressed myself so much. I want to have a bubble bath today. Yes, that is self-love. You need to be saying it to their hearing. Let them hear. Love yourself enough so that your kids can know how to love themselves as well. What do you say about yourself? Oh, I'm so smart. I did this. I'm smart. Yes, I passed all my exams. Or I didn't really pass. I failed 1 and 2, but I know I can do better next time. I'll put in some more work. What do you say? Right? All those things influence your kids. So you need to speak kindly to yourself to shape their sense of love and self-worth. We've spoken about that, right? Another thing you can also do is to help them identify their strengths. Talking about self-love now. Have you helped them identify their strengths? Every child has their own strengths. Have you sat down with your kids to identify their strengths? What are they good at? What are they great at? Yes, they might suck in 1 or 2 other areas, but they're great at something. What are they great? Have you identified it with them? That's where self-love starts from. Because self-love does not happen on the air. There has to be a foundation for it. Right? So you sit with your child. Oh, I'm so smart. I'm intelligent. Or I'm so kind. I'm always helpful. Right? I'm responsible. I'm this, I'm that. Say the exact things that they do. You are, Ryan, I see that you're so kind. I see you have a lot of compassion. You're so compassionate, right? I go to the orphanage visit. We do orphanage visitation in the Good Kids, like I think every third Saturday of the month. I always go with my kids, and it's intentional. I go with my kids because I want them to experience what I'm experiencing. So when you put them in those shoes where they get to see other children who don't have and have to depend on others, it teaches them compassion. It teaches them what's it called? Empathy. It teaches them all of that. So I've built that. My son, for example, is so compassionate right now. It's because he knows that he's based on the things he has experienced, right? But that aside, what am I saying? I'm saying you must sit with your kids. I'll give you one activity in our book, in our ebook, A Parent's Guide on Raising Loving Kids. We have a lot of activities that will help you, that you can do with your kids, that can help you teach them about self-love, right? For example, affirmations is just one. There's a strength tree activity. What is the strength tree? You tell your kids to draw a tree, the stem of that tree. Let them write their name on it. Write Ryan on the stem, right? Then the branches, they can start writing. They'll put, the way you draw a tree and you draw all the branches. So the fruits, let them be writing the things. That tree is them. The fruits is who they are. The things they love about themselves. They start writing the things they love about themselves. Use a cardboard for it. So just bring one cardboard, each of your children, each cardboard for a child. Let them draw a tree in it. The stem of that tree, let them write their name on it. Ryan, Amelia, whatever their name is. And then the branches, let them put different branches. And then start writing, I am kind. And it's not just vague things. I am compassionate. Let them write things that they actually know they are, right? The things that you have seen, you have also experienced. I think you're very compassionate. The way you do this, the way you do that. I am caring. For example, my son Ryan, I told you how he has become more caring with his kid brother. So I told him to add, I am caring. You are caring. You've been caring for your kid brother. The other day, I am caring. So what you're doing is self-awareness. Self-awareness, self-love for the child. They're getting to know themselves. They're getting to love themselves more. Every day they come, if they realize one more thing about themselves, they add it to the tree. Whatever they realize, they add it to the tree. And every day they go and look at the tree. And they can recite those things to themselves every day. I am loving, I am caring, I am compassionate, I love to help others. This one, that one, everything. So if you do this activity with them every day, and there are a lot more activities in it can be a love letter, right? You can love letter to themselves. You can tell your child to write a love letter to themselves, right? And they write a love letter to themselves. And in that love letter, they talk about what they love about themselves and all of that. So, yeah, so that's about self-love. So at this point, we are running out of time. Omo is not reminding me about time. I'm worried, and I can see that we've already shot over our time. This is 6:17. Yeah, but I believe we've pretty much covered the things we need to cover in today's topic, right? From knowing what is love and how to show love to the different kids at different age groups, to how love impacts your child's confidence and academic excellence, emotional well-being, how to love your kids without over pampering, while also disciplining them at the same time, teaching them about self-love. Love for others, forgot to mention that. Love for others. Now, love for others starts at home. If you have different kids, how does your kid love their sister? How do they love their brother? It starts from there. They say charity begins at home. As a parent, we must first instill love for others in our kids from home. It must start from home. Because it's until they show it with their sister or their brother before they can go out and show it to a friend. Right? So that must be your primary assignment. Watching how they relate with each other, how they share, how they care. And remember, if your kids are within ages 3 to 10, you are lucky. That is still the age range when you can still form, shape, adjust things in their mind, build their character, right? So that is the time to keep shaping, keep correcting, keep, shaping. You see them, they're not sharing. Ryan, remember, we share. We share, right? Sharing is caring, right? Say yes, mommy. Okay, so share with your sister. It's only kind for you to share with your sister. Share with your sister. And guess what? At times, I also add consequences. Anybody that is not willing to share, we forfeit it completely. Just 2 days ago, I think they were watching a movie. So usually they take turns. Yeah, because fairness is also a thing in a house. If you've not, if you want to know more about fairness, we've had particular months. I think that was in January or November when we talked about fairness. I think November. So if you go to our social media page, you're gonna see it. Omar, did you people finally put our social media pages on the group?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
It's
so you can follow us on all the different social media handles and you can see all of our contents there. Right. So I was teaching that fairness. I mean, you have to learn to take turns. It's only fair to take turns. Right. Now I'm talking about love and sharing. They know that when it comes to watching TV or doing anything, you have to take turns. It's only fair to take turns. It shows that you love each other, right? They've been doing it, but at times, children, at times, that thing will still touch them in their head. So 2 days ago, they were watching TV because they're on holidays. So at times I give them, if they're done with other things they need to do, they can have some screen time for some time. They were having screen time, and it was Amelia's turn to watch. And Ryan said it was Ryan's turn to watch. And they were not supposed to watch full movies. They were supposed to watch episodes. And Ryan said he wanted to watch a full movie. A full movie was going to take more time. And he knows that the rule is to watch episodes, not movies. So series where you can watch an episode, the next person can watch another episode, like that. He went to go and choose a movie that would take like 2 hours. I started watching it. And Amelia would say, Ryan, you're not supposed to be watching a movie. Ryan. Amelia now came to complain to me. I came out, I said, okay. Hence, you don't want to be fair and you don't want to share. No more screen time. I simply took the remote and that settled the case. Both of them started crying. So I told them, I said, next time, you know what to do. If you don't share, It means you're going to bear the consequences. The consequences is simple. If you refuse to share the screen, there will be no screen time. Consequences. I didn't beat anybody. I didn't touch anybody. So as parents, we must learn, I was talking about love for others, right? Yeah. So it starts from home. It starts from home. How do they love? How do they share with their siblings? That is your first assignment, right? Sharing. You must teach them. You must learn to share. Learn to share. It's only kind to share. You give them, you yourself, you also modeling it. As you have something, you share with them as well. You're modeling sharing. And then when you give them, and when they share, guess what? You celebrate them. Well done, Ryan. I'm so proud of you. High five. And guess what? They start sharing. Mommy, I shared with my little sister. That is good. Thumbs up, boy. I'm proud of you. That's it. And it becomes, before you know it, it becomes a habit. Now, when the perfect learning how to love their little sister or big brother or siblings, they can now take that love outside, right? They cannot take it outside. Now, how do we also encourage it as parents? For example, the other day, my daughter came to me and told me, Mommy, my friend Angela, I want to give her one swimsuit. I want to give her my swimsuit. She has 3 swimsuits. I want to give her a swimsuit. Like, okay, you want to share with her, right? Like, yes. I said, okay. I allowed her to share. If you don't encourage it, how are they going to learn to share? Or how are they going to learn to show love with others? It starts from home. And then it also has to do with how you encourage it. For example, the other day, my kids' school, they said they were going to the orphanage and they should come with something. I was the first to give them things to go with. Because what? We need to teach how to love others. Orphanage, you must not buy the whole world to give them. Whatever you can afford, you give them. The most important thing is the gesture you've taught them. That thing has stuck with them. They now know that it's good to share. It's good to share. It's good to love. It's good to show love to others, right? So the little things we do, like I said, it starts from home. And by the time we perfect love at home, the kids can now take it to their relationships in the school or in the playground or in other places, right? By the time they understand how to love, they are able to share that love as well with others in the society. So I want to believe that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that you are able to actually instill love in your kids. And before I give them for questions, we are going to drop a link to a WhatsApp group, right? For today only, we're going to have a 24-hour sale for our ebook on A Parent's Guide on How to Teach Love. That book has everything I taught you and much more. Everything I taught you today and much more. That book has everything. So it's going to be like your love Bible that you can go back to every time. It's not a voluminous book. It is a book that gives you practicals, clear guidance on what to do, how to do it, action steps that you need to take on how to instill love in your kids, right? Very clear. And then the storybook is for your kids that can teach them self-love, a storybook on self-love, right? So today, these 2 books, both the ebook for parents is 5,000, the storybook for kids is 5,000 as well. But only for today, we're having a 50% discount for the 2 of them. So between today and tomorrow, because 24 hours discount, so today and tomorrow evening, you can get the 2 books for 6,000 naira only. So if you know that you're interested, we'll drop a WhatsApp group on the WhatsApp, on the general WhatsApp group. That's on our parent community. That WhatsApp group link, just join there. And once you make the payment between now and tomorrow, please, after 24 hours, it goes back to the normal price, which is 10,000 for 2 of them. And this book is already in production, so you'll get it by next week, right? So between now and tomorrow, 24 hours is all we have to get the 50% discount. If you're interested in that, you join our group link, and which will be dropped on the group. You join there, and then you make a payment and share there. Okay? And the payment is just 6,000 naira for the attendance of this webinar only. Okay. Yeah. So that would be also over to us parents. I believe we have a lot of questions that we want to ask about all I've taught today. Please, this is the time to shoot. Feel free to ask questions, whether it's personal questions, whether it's general questions. Or you just want to make a comment. What resonated for you? What did you really like? What are you so excited about that you learned today? Right? It can be a comment, it can be a question, it can be anything. We are open to hear it. Okay? Over to all of us. Over to you to take the questions and comments.
Thank you so much, Chisom. I believe the parents on this call will agree with me that this session has been very, 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 very insightful. Very, very. So now we're going to take questions, and but before we take the questions, I'd just like us to just throw some emojis to our speaker today. It's been insightful, honestly. I have learned so many things. In fact, the power of modeling. I was just like, wow, these things are really, really, really true. Really, really true. All right, so we're going to go to questions and answers. If you have any question or any answers that you want to share, you want to ask a question, please feel free to do that at this point in time. All right, Modupe, your hands are up. All right, so you can ask your question.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you for this wonderful segment. It was so impactful and it's worth the time. Thank you so much for the good speech company. I am grateful. So my question goes, I have she before by April, but she's a female. She's very stubborn. Yesterday she did something wrong and my husband punished her. Asked her to kneel down and raise her hand. So it was taking long. I was feeling pity for her. I was like, are your hands up anyway? Won't you apologize and say sorry so that they will ask you to stand up? She refused. She was still there like 30 minutes. A 3-year-old child. I've been pondering on it since yesterday that what has my child going through? What's the meaning of this? How will I go through with this? Some say she will outgrown it, that is the stage and all of that. But I just feel like this is not right at her tender age. Please, what can I do? She's very stubborn.
Okay, thank you so much, Modupe. But I didn't clearly hear your question. I don't know, your voice was a bit muffled. Can you ask again? I know I heard about 3-year-old child, I think kneeling down or so, but just say it again, please.
Okay, she did something wrong and she was punished yesterday. She was asked to kneel down and raise up her hand and carry her plastic chairs in her hand. So my husband punished her. So I was like, after a while, I was feeling pity for her that her hands will be paining her, that she should apologize. I was telling her to apologize to the father, that she's sorry, so that they can ask her to stand up. But she refused. Bluntly, 30 minutes, she's still there. She still knelt down. She refused to apologize. I was like, what kind of hard heart is this? A 3-year-old child that will be 4 by 8. I felt like I had to do more. There's something I'm not doing right. So I need help on this, how to help this girl outgrow all of this bad character, stubbornness, and everything.
Okay. Okay, Mama, we hear you. I think I heard you clearly. If I have to recap, just to be sure I got what you said. Your 3-year-old daughter did something wrong, and your husband told her to kneel down and raise her hands up and carry a chair, right? Until she apologizes. Is that what you said?
No, I think
Hello?
she was, after a while she felt pity for the child and asked the child to apologize so that the father would show mercy, but the child refused, and 30 minutes still counting.
Okay. So first of all, I want to ask, what did the child do? What did your child do?
So
Are you
during our morning session, she's always not wanting to join us. Even the younger sister, that is 2 years old, always join us. Even at some point, she might no longer sing or clap again. So we saw that it has become a habit. She would not want to join. She don't want to sing or say amen to the prayers. And we felt like it is wrong. Even the younger sister tries to join. So, and she's the one that is very stubborn. The younger sister is not stubborn. So, like, even praying, we also help her, but she's refusing bluntly. We have tried many tactics. At times we tell her that she will not eat. Then we tell her that she's not going to eat. Then she can now start saying amen to him. So that yesterday she was not even answering at all. She was just crying that why would we, she was angry, beating her legs on the floor that because she's not even going to say she's not going to eat. So the father was like, "Oh, kneel down, raise up your hands and place your eyes in her." That was what happened.
Mama, I apologize. You have to go through this, right? But it's okay. It's part of the parenting journey. Okay. What I want to ask is the father often punishing? Does he often punish her regularly?
No, he doesn't. That was the first or second. He doesn't. He doesn't.
Okay, he doesn't. Okay. So, but does he show? So is this the first time she's doing? This is not the first time, right? This is not the
No,
first.
this is not the first time.
So all the times when she's been doing it, what have you guys done about it?
Most times I'll try to make her skip breakfast, but at times I'll have to just pity her and give her food. I'll threaten her like, if you don't do this, I'm not going to give you food. I will not give you snacks. I won't give you anything you ask. And then she'll go ahead and do that thing.
All right. So what I want to say now is, when it comes to kids, right? I don't know if you remember when I said something about connecting to correct. I don't know if you heard when I said that. There was a time I was talking and I spoke to connecting to correct. Now, I also said something about if your child does not have enough love, if your child does not feel love enough, right? Discipline might be a problem for that child, right? Now, what I need you to do, what I need after now, I think we'll still talk. Maybe you chat me privately so we can talk about this, right? But what I think you need to start doing is connecting more with that child, right? And by the word connecting, I mean try to start bonding better with your child and even the daddy too, right? I don't know, the questions I want to ask you now, I think it would have been better if we handle this privately. I'm not sure because people are here. I'm not sure this is the right place for us to talk about this. But what I would say generally, you can, like I said, chat me up, okay, after this webinar, because I can't say everything here. But what I would say is, when it comes to children of this sort that try to display this kind of habits, you need to first of all connect with them, connect emotionally with them. And by connecting, I mean start showing love to them in the way they want to be loved, right? And then as you're showing that love to them, there's a way. So, for example, when you're talking to your 3-year-old child, there's something that must have made that child so heady. I don't know what it is. That's why I wanted to ask you a question. We'll talk about it outside here. But there's something that made that child. There are questions I need to ask you. I can't talk of it here. But generally, what I would say is you need to connect. You need to find a way, and we're going to talk about the options, to connect with that child on a one-on-one basis so that you can correct the child. And I'm not talking of just discipline, slam discipline, carry this to another. Discipline is fine. For example, in my home, my husband is the one that brings more of the discipline hand. I balance it with the love, a lot of love. I also discipline, but I do more of consequences. right? Does not mean I don't discipline, right? But what I'm saying is that child has to be loved right enough to be able to take feedback. Because most times when children are heady and stubborn, it's because they are what's the word now? They are being told what to do, or they are being disciplined without enough love in their love bank account, which is what leads most children to rebel. You now see the child starts rebelling. That child starts rebelling. So I don't know. I will ask you some questions anyway. So I don't know what has led, but that's like a rebel. Something is provoking that rebel. We need to find the trigger of that rebel. What caused the rebel, right? So we talk privately. If you find out what caused the rebel, one sure solution is that you now need to connect to correct it. You need to connect with that child. You need to identify her love language. What does she really love? You need to start connecting with her on that level, okay? And then start correcting her, okay? But like I said, the nitty gritty or the details of the questions I need to ask you to understand what is triggering that rebel, I can't ask it on this call. So what you do is just please chat me up after now, and then we can talk. And I can, this like a counseling, it's not something that needs to be open, okay? But I hope you got me right.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very,
Welcome.
thank you very
Welcome.
much.
Yeah. So I don't know if there are other people that have questions that they want to ask. Or are there other people?
No, there are no other questions. Let me just hold on a minute. Let me check the chat box to see if we have any question. Okay, so we have a question from Trinity. My question is, my spouse doesn't care about prioritizing things to do. How do I convince him?
Okay, I can see the question from Chiwendo. So prioritizing things to, are you speaking about, that's like a vague statement. I'm not sure what exactly. Are you talking about the kids or what exactly? Chiwendo, can you speak? Can you actually speak, or do you have to type?
Yeah, I'm actually outside anyway. I'm outside, so I don't know
Okay,
the noise. Yes.
I can hear you.
So,
Go ahead.
okay, all right. So the thing is, most times I try to save my time for more important things. Okay, I talked about getting someone to do the cleaning, like washing when we have a lot, but he believes we can still do it even when we have little or no time. I have two kids, so I barely have time for other things. So he feels no, we can still do the things we need to do. We don't need to get help. We don't need to. So I don't know how do I bring him in? How do I convince him to see that it's important
Okay.
to focus on important things and then maybe outsource help or something like that?
I totally get you. So does he help himself?
Yes, he does a lot, a lot, a lot. He does. He does. He does. But the thing is, most times he complains because that time he's doing those things, it's time he needs to rest himself. So I feel guilty that oh, he's trying to help when he's supposed to be resting, those kind of things. He helps a lot. I feel it's when he's supposed to be resting, and then that's just it. So I don't know.
Okay.
He helps. He
Okay.
does.
So first of all, I'm really happy that you said he helps. Because trust me, there are a lot of men that don't help and they don't want you to get help. So your condition is actually better. Okay. So what I would say is I need you to stop feeling guilty. Stop feeling guilty on his behalf. Because if you have tried to convince him why you guys should get help and he's still not seeing it, next step is for you to prayerfully handle it, right? Take it, take it to God in prayers, first of all, right? Why you continue talking to him? Secondly, you need to stop feeling guilty. If it helps, then that's fine. You need to prioritize the ones that are more important. And then another thing is webinars like this, bring him in. Bring him into it. Try as much as possible to get him to attend, because what you hear shapes the way you act. Do you understand? So if he hears this for example, if he was here and he heard these things that you heard now, he might start having a second thought about, getting someone to help. Even if it's someone that is going to be going, the person doesn't have to sleep over. It can be someone that will come and go, just do some chores and go. So that way you guys have some time to spend time with the kids. Do you understand? So bring him into hearing what you hear, so that, because it's what you hear that will make the change happen. Change doesn't just happen all of a sudden. Something comes in for you to make a decision. You have to hear something that will make you take a decision. So that's the second thing. Aside taking it to God in prayer and continue talking to him, second thing is keep bringing him into webinars like this so he can hear what you're hearing. Third thing is stop feeling guilty. Okay? Because you can't do it alone. You cannot do it alone. You need help. So I'm really happy that he's helping you. Okay? So while he's helping you, don't feel guilty about it. Try to prioritize the one you can prioritize. Okay? Prioritize the one you can prioritize. And I can tell you, see, as parents, for example, when there was a time I didn't have a help, and I had 2 kids. The house can be scattered at times. Toys everywhere. Yes, while I'm teaching the kids to be responsible, right? But for that period, the toys will be scattered. Then at night or in the evening, after playtime, okay, it's time to clean up. Let them pack up. Do the ones you can do and leave the ones you can do. Do you understand? At that time, at that stage, I didn't bother about the house being prim and proper, this one being like this one being like this. I didn't bother about that. That was not priority for me. So, because if everything becomes your priority, then there's nothing that's your priority. You can't have 100 things as your priority, and you can't share yourself into 100. You have to know the things that matter the most and prioritize them. Okay? So if you used to do thorough cleaning every day and all of those things, you don't have a help. Slow down on that. Slow down on that. Okay? If it's once in a weekend, you do your thorough cleaning. If it's at times, if I need to sweep the house on some days, yes, because I will not die. I will not die. And I have to prioritize things that are important. The highest is I'll go and wash off the plates, because if you don't wash plates, it will smell. Clothes, you buy washing machine, use washing machine and wash clothes. So anyone that money can also buy that can help you, you buy it with your money. So if it's a washing machine you need, buy it with your money. So instead of using your hand to wash, anything that machines, yes, can do for you, you get them. Okay? But you see, doing everything, getting everything 100%, my dear, kill yourself. I would recommend you to also buy that book I talked about, Parent Like a Pro. In that book, I talked about not just parenting styles. I talked about loving yourself as a parent, and then loving yourself together with your spouse as parents. Self-love as a parent, creating time for yourself. I talked about all those things, finding help and support in that book. Okay? And like I said, today, that book and the other one I talked about, the other two I talked about are on 50% discount for anybody that's interested. I also recommend that for you. You can buy that. Just join the link in the general group. I've dropped the link there. Once you join that group, we'll drop all those feedbacks there. Between today and tomorrow, which is 24 hours, you have 50% discount. But off my head here, what I'm telling you is you can't do everything. You can't be, you're not a jack of all trades. You have to prioritize. I'm happy your husband is helping you. Let him help in the ones he can, right? While you're talking to him, so please let us get help. If he's not comfortable with a sleepover help, you can talk to him about getting a help that will come and go. Okay? If he's not comfortable with a help, how about one of his cousins in the village, or your own cousin in the village? How about a family friend, you people know that you can trust? This problem is trust. Do you understand? So you need to explore all the options. You need to explore all the options. If it's a family friend, sorry, not a family friend, a relative that he trusts, so you need to identify what the problem is for him. Is it a trust issue? Is it a trust issue? He doesn't trust that a help will be safe for the kids. You talk to him about if okay, he doesn't want a living help. How about someone that is going to come and go? How about a relative? Okay, those are options. Throw in different options to him. Alternatively, you get machines to help you. Okay, then aside that as well, do the ones that are priority. Do the ones that are priority. Take on the ones that are priority. And guess what? Bonding with your kids, spending time with your kids is a must. You must spend time with your kids. You can't afford not to spend time with your kids. Even if you're a working mom, you have to intentionally plan the time out to spend time with them. Okay? So I don't know if that helps answer your question. But like I said, the book I recommended, A Parent Like a Pro, I'm going to drop it in that group. You can join that group and get it at a 50% discount in 24 hours. That would also help you, okay? So, Q&A, I hope that helped. Okay, great. So, is there any other question? Do we have other questions?
No, we don't have any other question. No other question.
Me, Bolale, I can see Dewumi, I can see Bolale, I can see Oluwakemi. Do we have questions? Tell me, any questions before we call it a night? Because we're actually done. Okay. So, I think there are no questions. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Omo, for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for gracing us today with your presence and also for sharing with us this wealth of knowledge. We so much appreciate. We so much appreciate it. And to all the parents on the call here, we say thank you. Thank you for sitting with us through this 1 hour plus to learn. It goes to tell us how you're being intentional about this parenthood journey that we're on. We truly, truly appreciate you. And like we said earlier, that being in this community with the good kids, you're at the right place and with the right set of people and in the right company. Like Chisholm had mentioned, we have storybooks. We have also a kids tune. So I would say Good Kids is a one bus stop for all that you need for your child, development stage by stage. And during the course of this meeting, she had mentioned that the foundation is very, very important. So which is where we're taking our time to really, provide all that you need as a parent for that foundational year for your child. All right. So we want to say thank you for taking our time to join this webinar today, and we also look forward to having you by the next webinar, because we have the webinar on a monthly basis. I want to encourage you to join our WhatsApp channel, follow our handles, take advantage of the discounts that have been offered. I assure you is an opportunity that you really, really, really want to maximize and also leverage on the weight of knowledge content that you get. So thank you so much for joining, and thank you everyone. Do have a great day, and don't forget to like our page, to follow our page. We'll see you again next month when we have our next webinar. And also follow our on our WhatsApp channel. We'll bring you up to date on what our next programs are, our outreach programs, and all that we do. We'll keep you abreast. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.